Today the main focus is going to be on the idea of target area. So when I say target area, it's that we're targeting a specific area of the body, but it doesn't mean your pose is going to be exactly the same as the other person's pose. So for example, if we're targeting, let's say, the glutes or the hip, some of you might be in a pose like pigeon. Some of you, because let's say you have an issue in the knee, might be in a different pose, maybe eye of the needle on your back. And it's perfectly fine because it's still, those two postures target the same area. So rather than all of us trying to do the same exact shape pose, we want to listen to our own bodies and just work to target or tension the tissue in the area. That's our main focus. That's it. So thank you for being here. Take a comfortable seat. If you like, you can sit up on some height. It'll be nice to have a strap, a block, even a blanket, whatever props you might need for this class or you have available. I just want to give a shout out real quick. My buddy Travis Reynolds' surfboards just made me this piece of art that's hanging up behind me on the wall. It's made the same way you would make glass and color surfboards. So check them out, Travis Reynolds surfboards. And then sit up tall. You can go eyes open or eyes closed. And then just start to tune in. So now the target is really the breath itself and the area that the lungs expand when we inhale. And the areas that draw back in when we exhale. So you might choose to take a deeper breath in through the nose or mouth. Feeling how the tissue expands and stretches on the inhale as it deepens. And as you exhale, can you just soften the tissue around the ribs, the belly, the shoulders? 2 more breaths. Inhaling. You might breathe so deep your belly expands. And then the ribs, the upper body expands. And then exhale. And extend the exhale so you can feel the outer body soften. The effort soften. And 1 more breath. In and out. Can you be fully with it? And then as you exhale, just soften it. So you might keep your hands on your lap or bring your hands together at your heart. I'm going to chant. You might chant along the sound of Om to honor where these practices come from, to honor the people who are doing them right now and doing them across the planet. Really for all people, how this brings us, how somehow we're all connected. Take a deep breath in. It's 1 Om. All right, when you're ready, open your eyes, release your hands if they're lifted. So this class, it's a yin yoga class, so it's mellow, but it doesn't mean that it can't get uncomfortable at times. So listen to your body, because we will hold poses for anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, but we're going to start with a little movement in the beginning. So everything off your mat. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Take your hands a little wider than your shoulders. Your knees a little bit wider than your hips. Spread your fingers evenly. And we're going to start in a downward facing dog. Slide your knees back 3 to 4 inches. Tuck your toes Inhale, lift your hips up, knees bent or legs straight in down dog. Start to tune in, find your breath. So the target of this pose is to start to stretch the back of the legs and bring some strength to the upper body. Here, feel free to start to pedal the legs. Pedaling the legs, you take one leg straight, the other leg bent. You start to open up the tissue or target the area of the calves, the hamstring. And a few breaths here. So this one, you might get some stretch through the sides of the upper body or up around the shoulder blades. But really we're working the strength in the upper body. Take 2 more breaths here. Now walk your feet all the way up to your hands. Bend your knees deeply. Take your ribs onto your thighs, fingertips to the floor. Feet, again, about hip distance. Drop some weight into your heels, but keep your toes grounded. So this pose is going to target back of the legs, just like down dog, but now we'll add the spinal muscles too. Press your fingers into the floor or up on a block, or even your hands on the shins, and inhale partway up. And then exhale, fold in. Really stay with the breath. Inhale partway up. And exhale, fold. And one more. Inhale partway up. Exhale, fold in. Inhale partway up, lengthen. Now exhale, step your left leg back. Take your knee down to the floor, point your foot. Take your left hand out to the left, turn your right foot open. Inhale into a twist. Exhale, touch the floor. Inside the right foot. Inhale, easy twist. Exhale, touch the floor. So we're just opening up a range of motion. Inhale, open. Now exhale, touch the floor and bow inside the front leg. Inhale, rise up, open. 3 more. Exhale, touch the floor, bow in. Just till you feel the front. This is going to target the front hamstring, maybe the back thigh. Inhale, rise. Last one. Exhale, take it in, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, touch the floor. Either side of the front foot. Step the right foot back to the middle. Tuck your back toes. Down dog. Stretch it out. Knees bent or legs straight. We're going to hold this one 3 breaths. What I want you to work here, take the left foot between the big toe, second toe, hook it on your Achilles tendon to the right leg, and then press down a little. Hips back. Meet the stretch. Release the grip between the feet. Inhale, walk the feet forward. Bend the knees deep. Exhale, fold in. 2 breaths here. Lightly tone the belly. If you want more support, tone the hamstrings. Knees might stay bent or legs go towards straight. Inhale, breathe all the way to the sit bones. Exhale, think long spine. 1 more. Inhale to the sit bones. Exhale, long spine. Step the right leg back. Your knee down to the floor. Point the foot. Turn the left foot out, right arm wide. Inhale, stretch up. Low lunge twist. Now if it feels like too much in your back thigh, you can shorten your stance or take it wider. Exhale, touch the earth. Inhale, rise. So the first 3 are just moving through the range of motion, the twist. Exhale, touch the earth. Inhale, rise. One more. Exhale, touch the earth. So you're twisting the heart towards the floor. Inhale, rise. And now we're going to lower it. Exhale, touch the earth. Lower down. Inhale, rise. All the way back through the twist. Follow the breath the whole way. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. And last one. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, touch the earth. Left foot back towards the center of the mat. Tuck your right toes under and down dog. Last down dog. 3 breaths. Right foot, hook the big toe, little toe, right between, hook the Achilles tendon. Your knees might stay bent slightly or start to straighten the left leg. Press the hands down forward. Stretch the hips back. So just enough tension in the tissue. It doesn't have to be super strenuous to have an impact, to have an effect. The area you target, calves, hamstrings here, just think 5, we'll go 5 to like 50%. Release it. And what I want you to do in down dog, turn your feet out. Turn the feet out, heels in. You can shorten your stance slightly, belly in, take your hips back. Notice if that feels different than your regular down dog. If you're working low back, you might draw the belly in more, tone the glutes a little. Hips back. 3, 2, 1. Turn the toes straight ahead. Inhale, walk the feet up. Exhale, easy fold in. Inhale, rise up. Stretch the arms. Exhale, the hands to the heart. We're going to take a couple crescents here. You can do it on your knees, really, or you can do it standing. But we're going to crescent over. Inhale, arms up. Let's take the left hand to the left hip. We're going to keep it a little lighter. Crescent over to your left, hips to your right. Crescent over, then pull your belly in. Turn your heart slightly down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. Inhale, left arm up. Right hand hip. Exhale, take it over. For extra strength, you can tone belly. We're looking to stretch the obliques. Turn the heart slightly to the floor so the left side of the rib cage draws in. You're looking to the target oblique side of the body. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. Nice. Take a wide stance. We're going to go adductors, inner thighs. Your toes can turn out slightly as you go through the movement. We're going to go back and forth, side to side. You might stay up higher or you might come down lower. But we're just doing ease, just meeting the tension at the adductors, the inner thigh. So over to the right. Inhale, rise. Exhale to the left. I turn the left foot out. I even go onto the heel of the right foot. Inhale, rise. You might just shift back and forth, side to side. Back and forth with your breath. Side to side, targeting the inner thighs. You might drop lower, heel goes up. You might drop lower, heel goes up. Or you might just be shifting it. I actually turn my feet out a little bit because it targets the inner thigh better for me. I might even turn the feet in a little bit because it targets slightly different part of the inner thigh. 3, 2, 1. Feet back to center. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Inhale, rise up. That's it. Toe heel your feet back together. All right, so now we're going to get down on the floor a little bit more. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, take your hips back, fingertips to the earth. Inhale, partway up, lengthen your spine. Exhale, Hands back behind you, take a seat. We're gonna come onto our back. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Now, if you have a wall, you can even do this one at the wall. Left foot's on the wall, right leg and eye of the needle, or shoelace. So here, we're gonna hold for 3 minutes. So if you'd like to use the wall for support, please do. Otherwise, you're in the middle, holding the back of the left thigh or shin with both hands. So the main target here is the right glute. Anything else you do right now in the pose should be to influence that tension in the right glute. Anywhere from 5 to 50%. It doesn't have to be. Sometimes you think, oh, it's got to be super intense. We have to go so deep into the area that's being targeted in the pose. It's just enough to start to create some tension, create some change. So with that, there's different ways to influence this pose. I'll give you some. You could shift your hips to the left. You could draw your legs closer to the chest. You could take your sit bones down to the floor, the pelvis, so now you get a lift in the low back, and then draw the legs in slightly. You can take the right knee further away from the right shoulder. So these are all different ways to target that area. But for you, I want you to explore. The target is the hip. The area to avoid is any pain in the inner edge or outer edge of the knee. So you're halfway there. It's tuning into the rhythm of your breath. It's present with the breath, present with the sensation in that target area. And on your exhale, it's just really letting yourself sink in. Oftentimes we use tension to pull us out. We don't even realize it, but we're tense and it's pulling us out of being. The exhale can help us release tension and soften deeper into being. I say being, just feeling like you're in your body, feeling present. I always love these yin classes. I've had so many people write to me and be like, I don't know, I'd go on to it looks like your classes froze. And I'm like, no, we're holding the poses. That's it. That's first side. So what I want you to do now is just stretch your legs out. Just fully let the legs go. And we're going to just take 1 minute here. 1 minute just to rest back and to feel the effects of the posture. So if there was a target for this pose that we call rebound, then it would just be, what's the energy through the right side, the right leg, the hip? What's the energy in the whole of my body? So 1 minute just to feel the sensations and just to rest back. Whether you're starting your day or you had a long day already, just allowing yourself to rest. And take a deep breath in and let it all the way out. Inhale, bend your knees. Now we cross left ankle over right. Spread the toes. Draw the legs in. If you're at the wall, I'm going to do this one at the wall just so you can also see it. If you're at the wall, the right foot's on the wall, then you can just let your arms hang. I like it. You don't have to use the hands. This pose is 3 minutes. And again, just remembering anything you do through the pelvis, whether you shift and tip the legs towards the right, or you draw the legs closer to you, or you draw the left knee further from you, or the sit bones towards the floor, everything will create a different amount of tension in that target area of the left glute. So you have the left glute, but then you have a deep 6 external rotators. And this is what we're targeting here in the leg. So again, avoiding any pain in the inner or outer knee. We really want to keep it in the hip. Just noticing the breath. Is your breath speeding up? Can you slow it down? Can you extend your exhales? So it's those exhales that really help to put us into like that energy of yin. Just help us to sink into the body. The inhale is just as important. It oxygenates, but making sure we let the inhale go. So oftentimes we'll have something that we really feels precious, the breath, the inhale. And then we try to keep it, but it's by letting it go that we can release into even the gift of the inhale. 30 seconds to go. And when we let the exhale fully out, it makes room for something new, that new inhale to enter. Can you be with this next breath? Deep inhale, exhale, letting it all the way out. That's 3 minutes. And then stretch your legs out. 1 minute. Rebound. We won't do this after every pose, but many of them. And yin, the rebound is just to observe what you're feeling in the body and the tissue and the brain and the heart after the pose. If it feels good to you, taking a deep breath in, or just being aware of your breath and then exhale all the way out. Bending your knees. Okay, we're gonna go hamstring stretch. We're gonna do it on our back. But if you have a strap, it's a nice way to do it. So find your strap. If you do have a strap, you're going to loop the strap. I got a really long strap. So you're gonna loop the strap, and a long strap's good for this. And take it through. If you don't have a strap, don't worry, you can still do this pose. But it's gonna go like this. The strap is gonna go around the shoulder blades, and then the right foot into the strap. So right up at the shoulder blades, right up through the armpits to the shoulder blades. And then you're gonna create the amount of tension you want in that strap, because the tighter it is, the more pull it's gonna be in the back of the leg. We want it to be just enough. You even might have a bent right knee. The left leg can go out on the floor if it feels good. If you don't have a strap, interlace the fingers behind the right thigh. We're gonna be here for 3 minutes. Honestly, if you have like a door, this is a good one too, because you can take one leg up one side of the door as the other leg goes through the doorway. We're going 3 minutes. If you're holding, no problem, or you can hold a strap around the foot, let the elbows drop, or you got yourself all wrapped up here. 3 minutes hamstrings. This is our focus. Now, you have 3 hamstrings. So, with that, you have some that are medial, some that are lateral. If it feels like turning the foot in or turning the foot out, so we started turning the foot in or turning the foot out, influences or creates maybe tension in a new area, cool. So the target area are the hamstrings. You might feel all of them, you might feel some part of them. But what I want you to do is, even if there's discomfort, there's not like strain. We're not overdoing. So there's a kindness in the approach. So I love Yin because here we're inviting change. We're putting some stress, tension. But we're doing it really with care. And even a sense of ease. So there's no right place for your right leg to be, like all the way at the head, or the leg straight, or the knee can be bent. But really for you, in your body, when do you meet the target area? We're just meeting the tension. You can even infuse the breath into that area. Or imagine prana. It's a great word in Sanskrit. Prana means life force. Imagining the life force, like seeing it, feeling it run through the leg. Because where you place your awareness is also where you will send the life force. If I think of energy in my leg or bring awareness to my leg, I'm going to feel the life force in the right leg. Almost there. And this one we're going to rebound after, just because it's a good one to rebound after. Just to feel it. Feel how these channels opened up a little bit. Release the right leg to the floor and just let it be held by the earth. Notice the sensations. Notice if there's a difference. Do the bones on my right side feel more grounded? How does the breath feel as you take an inhale, exhale? How does the breath feel between the right and left? Take one more deep breath in. All the way out. Bend both knees. Second side. So you could strap the foot. You could use the strap around the shoulder blades so you don't have to use the hands. Strap the foot up. Or you could hold the strap in the hands if your strap's not long enough or you don't have a loop. Or you can hold the back of your thigh. It's 3 minutes. Now, just to be clear, your right knee can stay bent if that feels best, or straighten the right leg out. Everything you do with your left foot, whether you point it or pull the toes down, whether the leg falls out slightly, comes further in, or moves towards your right shoulder slightly, will change for most the tension in the hamstrings and the tissue. There's no place to get. There's no finished pose, but there is a place to target. So the hamstrings in the back of the leg. And feel free, while you're in it, if it feels like you're going to relax as much as you can, but if it feels like you need to shift or change slightly or play with leg position, feel free. Your experience, your body, check it out. The function of this pose is to tension the hamstrings. Take a couple of deep breaths in. And on the exhales, really let it go. You might even notice the place you've been wrestling a little bit of the pose. Just let it go. One more breath. Soften it. That's 3 minutes. Release the foot, lower the left leg to the floor. 1 minute. Just feel that leg. What's it feel like? Noticing, does it feel like there's more blood flow? Does it feel like you're really aware of your toes and the bottom of your foot? Take a deep breath in and all the way out. All right, we're going frog pose at the wall or happy baby. So, check it out. If you have a wall, make your way over to the wall. Sit alongside the wall. So parallel to, and then we're going to swing the legs vertical. Lean back, take the legs vertical. If you're in the middle of the room, in a place where there's no walls or in the middle of a field, then you can take happy baby, hold the little toe side of the foot. target adductors, the inner thigh. Or use the wall. You're still in that happy baby position, but the legs fall open. This is 3 minutes. Any variation on this works. If you're like, that's too much weight, you can bring the heels closer in. You might even bring the feet more into like a butterfly. If you're like, oh, I don't feel much, you might even straighten the legs out. So it's for everybody that's practicing this morning. The target area is going to be the adductors. Whether your knees are bent, legs are straight, or your feet are in butterfly. Whether you're at the wall or in the middle of the room, the target's going to be the same. So the goal is to meet the target area, meet some of that tension to create the opening. We have started. We got about 2 minutes to go. So you might try, what I like to do is I take the inhales all the way into the target area. Now, of course, the breath won't reach there, but just bringing your awareness as the breath is reaching there, bringing it and flowing the awareness to that area. You can almost feel the effects of the breath in that area. Because even though your breath fills your lungs, when you inhale, it presses your organs down. It puts pressure even down on the pelvic floor, all the way at the base of the spine, which then in turn will probably put some tension or create some sensation at the inner thigh. So it's all connected. Even on the most physical level, huh? You might even play with that and experience it more subtly as chi or prana moving. So 30 seconds to go here. Some form of frog or happy baby. So for this last 20 seconds, I opened it up a little bit. And the tension's changed. It's increased a little, but not so much that I can't be here. If you lose the breath, you start to grip, you know you've gone too far. One more full breath. Exhale it all the way out. If you're in the middle of the room, just lower the legs down. If you're at the wall, bring the legs back together. Pause for a moment. Collect yourself. Swing your hips to the right or left. Roll over to your side. Find your way back to your mat. Just roll, crawl, whatever it takes to get there. We're going to do this one is on the back, okay? For a moment, I want to take like a 30-second rebound. It's 30 seconds to feel the effects of the happy baby or frog pose. Just notice, do the legs fall open easier? Do they turn in easier? What's the sensation? Take a deep breath in and all the way out. All right, this one we're going crescent. So take both legs over to the right corner of your mat. Shift your upper body. Give yourself a little scoot to the right corner of the mat. Now you're in a crescent, tensioning the oblique muscles. Feel free to use a blanket under the left hip if you feel like you're falling over. If you want more, cross the left ankle over the right. We're going 3 minutes again. Here, we don't want to overdo it. Just enough to tension. Like slow cook. Imagine like slow cooking. So we're not cooking too hot. That's to burn it. We're doing just enough. Slow cooking. We're marinating this side. Or you can imagine like caring for this side. Huh? Whatever gets you to do just enough without burning. So regular asana, like form and flow classes that I teach, or vinyasa classes, oftentimes it kicks on the sympathetic nervous system. We kick into that sort of fight, flight, or freeze, especially as the poses get more challenging or the class gets more challenging. The goal in those classes even is to, can I tune back in to this parasympathetic, to the rest, relax. And yin is so good for that. So it's just enough tension. And over time it will change. Your body will probably go further. But really the balance between tension and freedom, or tension and good mobility. We want a little bit of tension to keep us moving well. We don't want too much tension. It can keep us from moving well. So it's all a balance. Not to mention the arms. Again, if the arms overhead feel good, like I'm doing, go overhead. If it's too much, keep the hands on your heart or on your belly or even out to your side. Your body, your pose, same target area, obliques. Whether you deepen the breath or not, no problem, but can you be with the next breath? And then scoot, take your upper body back to middle. Take your legs back to the middle. Second side. Legs to the left, upper body to the left. Right leg might cross over left. And then once you cross the leg, if you feel like, whoa, that's too much, then don't cross it. You know how it is? That's good. You get to decide. If you feel like you're tipping over to the right, prop yourself up. Put a blanket under your right hip. Hands can go on your heart, belly, or even overhead. 3 minutes. Crescent pose. So even if you show up to these yin classes or you share it with a friend, tell them just do part. They don't even have to do it all. Do one pose and you're going to get the benefits of that one pose. Take 3 breaths. You're going to get the benefit of those breaths. Take 1 moment of pause. It's going to benefit. So the world's moving fast. There's a lot going on. Whatever we can do to find time to enter states of really parasympathetic, like rest, relax, can benefit our response to everything that's going on. Because I acknowledge we got what's going on in the world, then we have what's going on in our families, then we got what's going on, inside ourselves. And it ain't always easy, and it shouldn't always be easy. But we can also learn to pause and know how to respond rather than react. That's why we're doing Crescent. So think Crescent for this last minute. Can you keep quality of moon? Take a deep breath in and all the way out. And then find yourself back to center. And pause. Let's pause for 30 seconds here. Noticing the effects of Crescent. You might even take a deep breath in, notice how it feels. Can you fill up the sides of your body more with breath? Bend your knees. All right, here's how we're gonna go. We're gonna do a little bridge pose. So you can use a block if you like, or you can just come into bridge. We're gonna hold it for about 2 minutes. So either block under your sacrum, low back, and this might be your back bend. If that's too much, you might just use a blanket folded 1 or 2 times over for it. Or block it up, and then you choose your height. Like you can go higher. I go lowest level. I call that Papa. Mama would be the highest level. All right, so then here's how we go. Stay here with your knees bent, or you can come into what we call pontoon in yin yoga, where the legs stretch out. You can do one leg at a time, or you can do both. Personally, I like one leg at a time. 2 feels like too much for the area of my low back. 1 at a time feels great, just right amount of tension. So you're either in bridge, suspending yourself. It's going to take more effort. It's more of a yang pose. Or you're in bridge, hip supported block. Or you're in pontoon, legs extended out. So we're going like 2.5 minutes. I'm going to tell you when we're halfway through so that if you're doing one leg at a time, you can switch it. This will put some compression through the spine, but we want just enough. With your legs extended, this will put some stretch through your hip flexor. Again, just enough. The arms can be out to the side, or you might even have the hands. I like them at the belly, where the belly and the heart meet, like base of the heart, base of the rib cage. Target area is the spine, the low back. Are the hip flexors. Okay, so that's halfway. If you're doing one leg at a time in pontoon, Take the second side. Slowing the breath down. 30 seconds to go. If it feels like too much, you can always bend the knee or come more into your bridge pose. Deep inhale. Exhale it out. Just let the body rest. Then bend the right knee. If you're on a block, remove the block, remove the blanket, lower your hips to the floor. Take your feet a little wider than your yoga mat, or just about as wide as a yoga mat. Let the knees gently fall in. Okay, draw your legs into your chest. We're gonna rock up to seated. We're gonna do one pose here. So we did back bend, we're gonna go forward bend. But I'm gonna give you two options. One, middle of the room, legs straight or knees bent, feet together or slightly apart, and we'll bow forward. So you might even use the knees as support here. We're gonna give a little stretch to the thoracolumbar and maybe the hamstrings. But what I really want to focus is on this thoracolumbar. We've done a bunch of hamstrings, so you might go knees bent, roll forward over your legs. Yeah, that's one. Or you might take it to the wall, hips against the wall or sitting on the edge of a chair. Knees can bend and then take it over. So again, seated or at the wall, seated on the floor, seated in a chair, or hips drop back against the wall. We're going 2 minutes here. Use as much support as you need. We're targeting the thoracolumbar. That's the tissue that goes from the lumbar spine all the way down, all the way up through the thoracic spine. Now, if it feels good to let your head go, you can let your head go. For some people, that can feel like too much. So if that feels like too much, support the head or use the muscles in the neck to support by lifting the back of the skull slightly. I keep a little lift. But the head going down will also add some tension to the thoracic. But you can still keep a little tone at the neck if it feels like too much. "30 seconds to go." That's it. One more breath. Breathe into the hips. Exhale, soften the spine. And then slowly come on up. Come on out. Come down onto your back. Have your block or blanket nearby if you think you need it. We're going to go both legs over to the left in a twist. So knees bent, feet flat on the floor, legs to the left. Prop your legs as much as you need. Give yourself as much support as you need. Arms can go out wide. So again, this targets the spine, but it targets more the transverse processes of the spine, the outer wings of the spine. They meet above and below. So we're just here for a minute. 30 seconds to go. So if it feels good with your legs on the floor, they can go to the floor. Today, I'm using a block just to encourage y'all that you don't have to go all the way every time. Just give yourself the support you need. Legs up. Both legs to the right. So this is our last pose. And then after this pose, we'll do a 1 minute rebound. So you might let the legs go to the floor or you might prop them up. Targeting the spine, but you might also get a little stretch through the glutes or even the tissue on the back. Oh, that's a minute, but this feels good. I just want to stay in here. All right, I'm coming out. Come back to center. Final rebound. Stretch your legs out. Prop your knees up if you like, but it's 1 minute here, and we're at an hour. 1 minute here in a rebound. Just letting the body be held by the earth, noticing the effects of the practice. Can you let the body rest for this last minute? So target here now is the more, you can think the energy in the tissue or the more subtle body or the chi or prana in the body. Take a deep breath in and all the way out. And then when you're ready, bend your knees, roll to your left or right. And then slowly come on up to seated. Just notice how your mind, your body feel. Notice how it feels like to sit on the floor. So we'll chant the sound of Om to close, and Om to honor the practice, to honor ourselves in the practice, to honor those who came together to practice, and for all beings. It's one Om. Taking a deep breath in. And then just let it out, let your breath out. Deep breath in all the way to the base.